People of the universe, welcome back to the Who Even Are We podcast with Pat and Taylor.
Hello, hello.
Hey everyone, long time no see.
It's been a minute.
So, we're back. This is episode 8 of season 2. It's great to be back. We hope you guys enjoyed our first video that we put out about 10 days ago as of the day we are recording this. Just an update for you guys who watched that video, and if you haven't, go check it out. It's on this page. Those cookies were really good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think if we used milk chocolate, it would be better.
They were
very rich.
I was about to say it's going to be crazy for me to say they were a bit much for me.
I'm sorry, what? So anyways, we haven't posted an episode in a while, and there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is we didn't record any. Number 2 is it's been a busy couple weeks, so we'll just leave it at that. Lots of stuff going on behind the scenes.
Long story short, we're just lazy.
Yeah, that's
the real reason.
I was trying to make us sound better than we actually are. We are just
we're real
lazy.
people. We're real people with
Sometimes
real life things.
It's like 8 o'clock at night, and you're like, oh, yeah, I need a podcast episode tomorrow. And you're just like...
I mean, if we want to say the real reason, it's because we have found this new addiction of ours.
Don't be calling me
called
out now.
Xbox.
Yeah, you get on there with the boys and keys and just go bananas.
Yeah.
So, that's where we've been. But we're back now. Back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Comes out Tuesdays and Thursdays, except for like the last 10 days. It did not. Anyway, so in usual fashion, we are going to start with the sourdough update, which I don't think there's really an update per se, but there's some stuff you want to make.
Yeah, we're rolling. I'm still trying to... It's very finicky. I still can't seem to get it just right, which is going to drive me insane.
She's a perfectionist.
Yeah, but things are turning out well, except for that one sandwich loaf I made a couple weeks ago, and that's just because we got on Xbox and I forgot about it, and it overproofed. So
it didn't rise.
Turned into, it did rise.
Too much.
Too much. And so when it was time to be put in the oven, it didn't rise at all, and it was quite literally a brick. The shape and everything.
You ever seen like a cartoon where they were like, I brought fruitcake? That was the general shape of that loaf.
I was going to try to eat it, and I went to try to cut into it, and it just crumbled. And so I was like, well...
You made biscuit bread.
Oh, well. So, but other than that, everything's been pretty on point. Today, if we go to the store and grab marshmallows and stuff, I have a loaf preparing, and we might do a s'mores loaf.
That sounds fantastic.
My first inclusion loaf, which is a little bit terrifying considering that my actual loaves haven't been amazing, but why not?
Sorry for the long pause there. So, to pull back the curtain a little bit, we are planning on doing an episode with somebody fairly soon, and I had to figure out a 3-mic setup, so I adjusted a lot of things, and I didn't know if it was capturing Taylor's voice while we've been recording here, so before we got too far into it, I wanted to make sure. So, pulling the curtain back. Anyways, s'mores loaf.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, I've mastered the art of keeping Gizmo in the fridge and then pulling him out the day before I want to bake something so that he has time to rise. So, because the first time I did that, it seemed like it took forever for him to come back to temperature. But putting him in the oven with the light on has done the trick. So
our oven is the Red Roof Inn for Gizmo. We left a light on for it.
I feel like if we had a proofing drawer, that would work.
Oh jeez. Oh boy. Oh my god. Wow.
Words.
Holy crap. That was a hard one. Today, Junior, we have woken an animal. So that's the sourdough update. And in Tuesday tradition, it is time to talk about the record of the week. This week's record is a fairly recent record from a band that I really enjoy, and I think you enjoy as well. It was released on January 19th, 2024, and that is Saviors by Green Day. It is their most recent record. Total length of this record is 46 minutes and 2 seconds, so relatively short listen, but a good record nonetheless. Singles from this record are The American Dream is Killing Me, Look Ma No Brains, Dilemma, One-Eyed Bastard, and Bobby Socks. If you want the details on the dates those released, just look at Wikipedia like I'm just doing right now. But overall, a great record. I kind of compared it to like that American Idiot era of Blink, which was really cool. And
Green Day.
of Green Day, excuse me. And that's what I compared it to. It definitely had that American Idiot feel to it, which is arguably their best record. So yeah, if you have not checked out Saviors by Green Day, I highly recommend it. You can find it streaming, you can find it in stores everywhere. Go check it out. And kind of funny, I mentioned Blink because 2 days ago they did Fire Aid for Los Angeles, and they brought Matt Skiba on stage to do Bored to Death. Matt Skiba is the frontman of a band called Alkaline Trio. After Blink had their hiatus back in the Twins, Matt stepped in, and I think I've talked about this before. They did 2 records with Matt Skiba, California and 9, and then of course Tom came back. So it was really cool to see Matt, Tom, Mark, and Travis all on stage together, and I think they nailed the song. So either way, besides the point, Green Day, Saviors, released January 19, 2024, 46 minutes, 2 seconds. I think my favorite song on that record is Look Ma No Brains or The American Dream Is Killing Me. I know both of those were singles, but they're just good songs. So there is that as well. But I thought we'd talk about this a little bit. This is not necessarily the topic of today's episode, but it's something I wanted to throw in there. Holy crap.
Are you
I can't
okay?
talk. I think I'm having a stroke. Valentine's Day was 2 days ago, and I thought just kind of as a fun topic, we could talk about some of the funny things we have seen for Valentine's Day. There's a couple that stick out to me.
Okay.
I wanted to let you go first, though, or do you need time to
Funny
think?
Valentine's related things?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like how people sit on the same side of a booth on Valentine's Day.
Oh, people do that in general, and
It's so weird.
I think I've had somebody do that to me once, and I'm like, what are we doing? Get over there.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 sides to this table. We don't have to sit on the same side unless you got 4 people or 3 people.
Or unless, like, I know, like, in movies, you'll see they're sitting in a booth trying to watch the band. That's one thing.
Yeah, but when we went on our first Valentine's date, there was no band. It was just weird people sitting in a booth.
Yeah.
I guess this kind of goes with Valentine's Day, but remember that time? I think we were walking around the mall or Target. It was definitely not Valentine's Day, but we joke about this to this day, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why you're
about the
laughing.
hand-holding?
So, typical hand-holding, okay? Like, most couples are going to interlock fingers. If they don't do that, they'll hold them like they're kind of shaking hands is the easiest way I can describe that. This was the weirdest shit I think I've ever seen. Not ever, but, like, I was like, what are y'all doing?
So, how do you describe that?
So, make a fist with one hand and put your other hand over the fist like paper covers rock. That's how they were holding hands.
They were walking like that.
Like walking across the mall like that. And I think you pointed it out. I think you saw it and you're just like, do you see that?
Because I noticed stuff like that.
And I was sitting there like, what in the world are they doing? If anybody in the comments out there can let us know, like, is there like a reason for that, or were these people just weird?
I think it'd be different if it was an older couple. They get a free pass. Hey, at least they're holding hands. But it was like a...
They were, like, I would say our age now is what they were then.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, 30s, late 20s, early to mid-30s.
Yeah, I think they were mid-30s is what I would say. But...
So weird.
Yeah. I love seeing old people hold hands. It is my favorite thing in the world. Or when I get to like the grocery store or any parking lot, and it's the tale as old as time where he gets out and he opens the door for her and helps her out of the car.
I can't do that for you.
You can.
I've tried, but you get out of the car too damn quick.
Well, I can just sit there now. If that's what you want to do.
Jeez, I may have opened Pandora's box.
I'm just thinking for future reference. We got to make sure our kiddos they know what's up.
Our kids are screwed because, like, my sense of humor is making fun of people.
Do you remember when we first got together and we would, like, if we were walking down the street on the sidewalk, I would, like, yank you to the street side.
Yeah, I never knew that was a thing until, like, we got together. Like, I knew, like, placing the jacket over the puddle. I'm gonna be like, dude, I'm gonna be like, dude, it's water. Just walk through it. You'll be aight.
Truthfully, like, I don't care that much, but I was like, if we get this started now, we'll be golden for the future. So let's get this guy going.
See, she was game planning.
I was.
She was trying to do classical conditioning, is what it's called in psychology. That's what she was trying to do it.
It didn't work.
You didn't stick to it.
But I think that the reason behind that is keeping the woman from danger of the street.
I mean, if you're walking on the street side, I'm a pretty, like, I might be big, but I think I'm kind of a quick thinker in some aspects, especially when I see, like, a situation that goes south. Like, if I see a car that's coming, I'm going to yank your ass over, but
if you don't see it.
If I don't see it, then it was nice knowing you. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll bring flowers. It'll be all right. Not really.
Think of any.
Please don't die. Yeah, no, that couple holding hands, like, paper covers rock.
Yeah.
I think that's like a prime way to describe it too,
Yeah.
because that's literally what it was. That is burned into my memory.
I mean, like, their arms were down, so I don't know how people are trying to imagine it, but
like, imagine holding hands, but paper covers rock and walking through the mall.
Like, it's not even. You're not even.
It's like, bro, calm down.
You're not even joined as one. Like, he could just walk faster and lose. He could lose the rock.
Bro, why are you so angry? They're balling his fist, just walking through the mall. It's like, damn, calm down, bro. Man, yeah, no. There was just a few things that stuck out. I'll never forget one year I screwed up and didn't get you like a card or anything until Valentine's Day, and I had to go to not Food City, Kroger, and get it, and like, I just saw the wall of dudes in the card aisle, and I was like,
that's how you know you've made it.
I felt like, to me, like, me, like, Christmas shopping, for example. I try to get my Christmas shopping done in October and November, so when December rolls around, like, oh crap, there's something I forgot. I just got to get something last minute, because, like, we all know the stores during Christmas time are insane. But just seeing that, it's like, wow, y'all, you must have just crept up on you. I don't know. I mean, school was fun on Valentine's Day. Like, when you used to exchange Valentines with your class. I don't know if you ever did that.
With the boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go get that pack of 30 with a fun dip. You called it a day. It was like a second Halloween. It was fantastic.
Yeah, because you have parties and stuff.
My mom hated it. I was all hopped up on sugar.
Oh, yeah. I loved making the box because we would have a contest.
You guys, like, made boxes?
Yeah.
Bro, I thought you were talking about you just put the Valentines in a box and then hand them out.
No, we would make personalized boxes for people to put the Valentines in.
Nah, dog. People would just put it on our desk.
Tissue box? Weird.
Yeah, no.
That's depressing. Remember the train I made a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
You were proud of that.
I was. And then I lost.
It was for a contest.
Yeah.
And
somebody made a legit house.
Somebody got way too much damn time on their hands.
It was an older lady, so yeah.
I mean, the train was nice. Did you get rid of that, or don't you still have that?
I kept it for a while, but I don't know. I don't think I still have it.
Interesting. Valentine's Day is a weird holiday.
I feel like more people hate it than like it.
You know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I know you love that.
It's just the government trying to, they're just trying to make more money.
It's not even the government. It's
I know, that's why.
Card companies trying to make more money between Christmas and Easter. I fall under the people that are like, if you love somebody, you show them that, and you try to prove that every day, not just once a year.
Well, yeah. Speaking of cards, so this is our first Valentine's married.
It is.
And those who know, it is really difficult when you're not married, but you're in a serious relationship to find a card. Because you feel like all of the cards that say husband.
It's not.
Shut up. All the cards that say husband are what you want to give to your partner, but he's not your husband. So then you got to find the ones that are like very, it's a very small selection. Of,
In-betweeners.
I love this person, but we're not married.
Hey, I love you. Put a rock on it.
So this year I was actually really, really excited to be in the card aisle because I could look at all 1,000 of the husband ones.
Oh my God. We should talk about our card picking techniques real quick because they are vastly different.
You better read them because I spend time.
I do read them. I have said it before, but like I don't need presents. Like you don't have to get me a present. If you get me a card, I am thankful for it because that just shows that you thought about me.
Yeah.
And so I do read. I have read every single card you have ever given me. Because I know you put a lot of thought and effort into finding it. Because I've been there in the store with you at Target. It's like 8:30. We're in the card aisle. 9:45 rolls around. Store's about to close. We still haven't picked out a freaking card. It's not that extreme. That was a little dramatic. It's maybe like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I do pick up a dozen different cards and read them and decide which one's the best. And then the envelope thing, because they never put the right envelope with the right card. Like, they don't match.
Oh, for your card this year, I told you already, but somebody had snatched the envelope for it, so I had to steal one from another one. But
that's literally what
whatever.
I do every time. I don't think I've ever
They
bought
were all
the
red.
same card with, like, the card that goes with the envelope that's behind it.
I sure have. I think the one time I put a lot of effort into your Valentine's card was for last year. Your Ariel card.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, so I got her this card that was like a pop-up picture of Little Mermaid, which is her.
Probably a $10 card, huh?
It was not cheap. I honestly I can't remember how much it was, but so I go to Walmart to get her Valentine stuff. And I see they have these pop-up cards, and I'm looking around because one of the pictures on the display had Ariel, and of course the place I was looking didn't have it. So I went on a freaking mission to find this damn card, and I walk around all the Valentine stuff. There's no other card stations, and then I go down the card aisle, and there was one left. And I was like, thank God. Because I had another one picked up for you. I can't remember what it was, but it was another like Disney princess. But yeah. I was like, Ariel's the one that you'll want. I think your card this year was pretty good, too. I put a little bit of effort
really
into it. It was kind of like you said. I was like, well, damn. I started to walk down the aisle because I'm so used to looking for the, like, hey, I love you. Put a rock on it.
It's like, how do they phrase it?
Tweeners is what I'm calling it.
Anyway, I don't remember. Because it's usually like for husband, for wife, romance, funny.
Sections.
Yeah.
Categories.
In love. I don't know. I don't remember. But
yeah, I walked down the aisle because that's what I'm used to doing, and then I was like, "Oh wait, we're married. I can go over here now."
Getting a card like when you're still in school was really awkward.
I remember as a kid, I used to hate getting like a card. Just like I want presents, I want things, and now I'm just like, "Give me the card, dude.
Like,
don't spend money on me."
So I was in a long-term relationship all throughout high school, and buying a card for that person was weird because we're like 15. So it's like, I want to buy the card that's like, I'm so in love with you.
You bought the card that had the dude's butt cheeks on it. I think you've given me that card before.
I'm always torn between something serious and something funny with you. I was so excited to buy cards. It's a card that said husband on it. I almost bought you several.
Jeez.
You said you like cards. Here's 15 of them.
Pick a card, any card. Did you open my card and then write your card? I'm genuinely curious about
Well, I
this.
did, but I already had all of the words that I put in your card in my head. And so when I read yours, I was like, well, he's going to think I copied him, but it's fine.
There's one thing that stuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that was? What was it?
To the stars?
Yeah. So in my wedding vows.
Mine too.
Yeah, actually, that was not planned, which was crazy.
Neither was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so in my wedding vows, so again, being a Blink fanboy, Tom DeLonge's company is called To the Stars, the Academy of Arts and Sciences. And I love that phrase, to the stars. So in my wedding vows, I said, to the stars and around the moon. Let's make this last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I'd put a little tidbit of that, and I just took to the stars, and you did the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I just noticed
so
it.
for our vows, I rewrote mine the night before.
Okay. Stop.
I was up till like 2 a.m.
You rewrote your vows 900 times.
Yeah.
You want to know? This might irritate you. It might not. But your maid of honor heard your vows before you did.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to read her mine, and then I changed them again, so it's a good thing I didn't.
Yeah. I called her. I was like, Jesse, I need help. It's 6 minutes long, dude.
To the Stars was something that just randomly came to my head that night. That wasn't in any of the other versions of my vows.
That's
because
crazy.
people say I love you to the moon and back. So I was like, ooh.
To the stars.
I could put this in there and he'll appreciate it. Nobody else may understand it, but you'll get it.
Yeah, I'll never forget our photographer's husband coming up to me and being like, I think you're the first groom I've ever had who's quoted Lil Wayne in his vows. And I was like, that's because I'm a legend, dude. It's because I'm iconic. Like, what are you talking about? In my vows, for those who don't know, and I think we've talked about doing an episode where we read each other our vows. Yeah. I mean, we could have done that for this episode, but...
That would have been a good Valentine's episode.
Yeah, well, we got an idea for our next Valentine's episode, or just a random episode.
Now, because we're already talking about Valentine's.
Okay, what? Fine, whatever. Stop driving. I'm just kidding. I mean, if you want to do that, we can do that. I'm going to have to pull it up,
It's still on my phone. We need to get them printed out.
I had mine printed out.
I was going to try to... Look.
This is going to make me laugh. I'm sorry.
What?
One thing that Taylor has gotten on to me in the past about, rightfully so, is that I spent a lot of time on my phone. And so I thought, let me print my vows out on paper and pull them out of my jacket like a freaking G and then read them. And then she pulls up her vows, she pulls out her phone. I was like, really? I could have done that.
Well, our printer
sucks.
It's not working.
It's like a $30 printer from Walmart because we all know that it is cheaper to buy a new printer than it is printing ink.
Yeah. And like I said, I rewrote my vows literally, honestly, it was the day of our wedding because I'm telling you, it was like 2 a.m. Thankfully. My dress had pockets.
Wedding vows rough draft.
Rough draft.
I don't know if I ever renamed it.
Well, before we get into that.
What?
Do you have anything else on your list of things to talk about? Because I feel like you're missing something really important.
Well, I was going to talk about the topic of today's episode, but...
We have a niece.
Yeah, we have that too. Shit. I didn't even write that down. I'm so sorry, Trevor. Yeah, we're officially an aunt and uncle. Yeah. Like, for real.
For real. Like, me by blood. You by marriage.
Me by marriage, but still.
Yeah.
We have a niece. She was born February...
She was born a week and a half ago.
I think it was February 4th or 6th.
I have it in my calendar.
Of course you do. That's probably a good thing. One of us needs to keep up with it.
February 4th.
February 4th. So 10 days before Valentine's Day, our beautiful niece made her entrance into this world. She's confused.
February 4th. Okay, I got worried for a second that I had totally goofed up. She is the cutest little baby I ever did see. And I know I'm biased because I'm related to her, but she really is a really cute baby.
And she's healthy?
For a vaginal birth. Normally they come out looking like cone heads and all misshaped and weird.
She's like, you hear that, ladies? All your babies are ugly if they came out the...
they come, like, they
went down the Oregon Trail.
They fix it. They go back right.
I found my vows.
Poor Emma. She's been through the ringer.
Oh my God, yeah, she has. Even before the birth.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, she, like you, both of your immune systems hate you.
You're welcome, Nichols family.
We always joked and said, like, if you two had ended up together, it would have been a catastrophe because...
My tummy hurts. Shut up, so does mine.
But yeah, she was... I think her and Trevor both had the flu, literally, like, a couple weeks before giving birth.
Yeah, I remember Trevor got really sick.
Well, and then they don't even know what that was still. They never did figure out what was going on because he had like 103-degree fever for like a week straight. But she had the flu, and then, of course, she ended up getting induced because of, I think it was blood pressure
even
related.
before that, during Christmas, she had strep.
Well, yeah, she had strep, then she had the flu, then she gave birth and had complications there. And then literally, what was that?
She had the flu right before giving birth.
Yeah, like a week or two before.
Right before.
And then she had complications during birth. Then
postpartum.
they got through all of that, and then a few days later, she was having trouble breathing. She had fluid in her lungs, so she went to the hospital, and then she had an allergic reaction while at the hospital. And just bless her soul.
Put her in a bubble,
everything
please.
She's been through. And then, of course, my poor brother. I mean, brand new baby, and he's just like,
what do I do?
So,
yeah, that was scary, but
yeah,
glad she's doing better now.
Just got videos from her, so I'm curious if it's our niece.
If it's our little peanut,
yeah,
we're not going to say her name.
We have not been to see her yet because we figured they have a whole army down there to help take care of her.
And Emma has like 17 sisters, so.
And I want to be selfish, and I want to spend a lot of time with her when we get to meet her. So I'm like, we'll wait a month, and then it's my time to shine. I told Mom, I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for all of you Volters to get out of the way. I was actually thinking the other day, so technically Gayany, my grandmother, has great-grandchildren. They're like...
by proxy?
Yeah. And so, I was like, well, it's not her first great-grandkid, but then I was like, it is her first great-granddaughter, so...
That's right, because the other two are boys.
All three of them are boys, yeah.
Yeah, other three are boys.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, and then, of course, my parents and Emma's parents, it's their first grandbaby. So she's not going to need anything.
We get all the hand-me-downs.
We'll never need for anything either.
Oh, I know. The other part of that, too, is we're 5 hours away. You know what? I'm not going to bring that up on the pod. We'll just forget I said anything. Okay, I got my wedding vows here. I'm going to mouth it to her real quick. Yeah, she knows what I'm talking about now. Yeah,
anyway.
We won't bring that up. Anyways, here's my wedding vows. This says rough draft, so I don't know if this is actually the rough draft or the final version, but we finna read it. And so we got married September 28th, 2024. And in the Hurricane Helene rain... Yeah, let's just talk about that real quick. It was supposed to be sunny that day, most of that week.
Yeah.
And then it was like rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun. And then it was like light rain. So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it could have been much, much worse, but it's still annoying. Because when we got back so the whole month of September, it had been beautiful.
Sunny, 75, no humidity.
Yeah. Then the entire week of our wedding, it was constant rain. And then we get back from our honeymoon, guess what? Beautiful again. And I'm like, look, man, I'm trying to be thankful for what we got because it could have been so much worse, but also freaking annoying.
We had a plan to get married by the back fireplace at our venue, which was not covered, and we had to do a little change of plans, which worked out fine. The only issue that we had was it was a longer walk to the fireplace, so the walkout songs that we had were longer.
Yeah.
So we kind of they kind of went through the songs kind of quickly.
Well, and people, for some reason at weddings, people always walk way too fast. Like, yo, take your time.
Yeah, I didn't know I had to walk the officiant out.
I didn't know that either.
Not a huge deal.
That was weird.
Whatever, I thought they just walked up there and then I walked up there. But it is what it is. It's fine. I liked our officiant. She did fine.
Yeah.
Something else I could say, but won't. Either way. So my wedding vows. So.
It's going to be half the podcast right here.
Here we go. It's going to be at least 6 minutes. At least that was with practice. Taylor, where do I even begin? 7 years and 19 days ago, I asked if you would be my girlfriend. I never in my wildest dreams could have guessed what a roller coaster this was going to be. But with all the ups, downs, twists, and turns, we made it. Our wedding day, surrounded by so many amazing people. And to quote your mom, and to quote you, your mom, your grandmother, your father, your brother, your maid of honor, all your bridesmaids, my mom, my sister, and a large handful of our friends, it's about damn time. As one of the great poets of our generation, Lil Wayne, once said, I'm sorry for the wait. Nonetheless, happy wedding day, beautiful. Over the last 2,577 days, from the moment I asked you to be my girlfriend to right now, where I'm asking you to be my wife, there have been so many countless stories to tell. Over 20,000 miles traveled, late nights, early mornings, moments of happiness, sadness, weakness, tenderness, sickness, grief, pain, adversity, triumph and success. And of course, who could ever forget that one diet that involved us eating way too many lean cuisines? When you said that you'd like us to write our own vows, admittedly I was nervous. Not because I'm afraid to express the way I feel about you in front of God and everyone else, but because we both know I'm a rambler and could easily turn this into a 17-page, multi-sided Sheldon Cooper-esque paper that would take all night to read, and we both know Addison would never let me hear the end of it. But none of that really matters. What matters is us, today, right now. I'm sure if you told that girl from Tipton County who drove to a Dairy Queen in Olive Branch that this punk rock kid from California would turn out to be her husband, and if you told that punk rock kid who nervously walked around Dick's Sporting Goods talking to his friend 13, who is also a groomsman, an hour before meeting that girl at Dairy Queen, that he'd be meeting his future wife, I know in both scenarios, these two would be shocked. There have been many firsts between you and I, some of which I won't mention in my vows, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the first time we took a vacation together, your first time flying, the first time we went off-roading, which I know you were a big fan of, the first and hopefully the last time we went through a global pandemic together. There have been big firsts too, like when we first moved in together, when we first bought a house when we bought a house for the first time, the infamous meeting of the parents. I digress. There have been so many good times over the last 7 years, a lot of laughs, and some until tears. As everyone here knows, life likes to throw a lot of off-speed pitches as well. A moment that sticks out to me is when my mom had to have her 364th surgery, and we went and visited her in the hospital, and she asked you to put her hair up. I'm not sure why, but that moment always sticks out to me because without hesitation, you went and did it. I knew at that moment that you and I would be together for the long haul. I know there are so many memories, and I'm sure we'll continue talking about those as the night progresses, but in life, something that you'd help me see is to appreciate the moment and don't spend too much time in the future. But even with that said, there are still some firsts that I'm really looking forward to. By the way, this is the rough draft because there's a lot of grammatical errors, and that's why I'm fumbling.
47,000 commas?
There's a lot of commas. There are a lot of firsts that I'm looking forward to, such as the first time we're referred to as Mr. and Miss Foster, our first dance together as husband and wife, the first time we get pregnant and get to welcome a new addition to our family, the first time I get to see you hold our beautiful baby, the first family vacation we take with our child, and all the firsts to come therefore after. Taylor, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being somebody who can put a smile on my face even when I'm at my lowest. Thank you for always entertaining my crazy ideas and out-of-this-world dreams. Thank you for listening to me sing, rather awfully might I add, along to my favorite songs. Thank you for being my road trip buddy. Thank you for all the good times and even some of the bad times. Thank you for loving me for who I am and for always believing in me, even when I don't believe in myself. Thank you for pushing me to be a better man. Most importantly of all, thank you for making me the happiest person in the world and for the opportunity to be your husband. You know, vows are about making promises to each other. One thing you know about me is that I don't like promises. I believe that promises are made to be broken. What I do believe in is giving somebody your word and always doing your best to honor that word. Making a commitment to strive towards that every minute, day, month, year, and so on. Well, in front of God and everyone else, I want to give you my word that I will always strive to be the best husband that I can be. I give you my word that through the tough times, I will be right there fighting alongside you. I give you my word that I will do everything in my power to support you and your dreams, that I will try to be a man you can be proud to call your husband. I give you my word that I'll always try to be the best father to our future children and raise them with the same principles that we carry, like being a good person, being faithful, being empathetic, and being a good friend. Lastly, I give you my word that no matter how rough the terrain, how high the water, or how far we must go, I give you my word that I'll always be there for you from I do to the final goodbye, no matter what happens. Taylor, as I stand before you, I cannot be prouder of what we have accomplished together, and I cannot be more excited about the road that lies ahead. I am thankful that God put us together and led us down this path. As it says in Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up to her. Today I give myself up to you from this moment and for the rest of our lives. As it has been said by another great lyricist of our time, Fat Bottom Girl, you really make the rocking world go round. Well, you make my rocking world go round too. I love you, Taylor, middle name, Foster. I'm honored and privileged to be called your husband, and for the privilege to call you my amazing, hardworking, loving, kick-ass, sexy, goofy, sweethearted, and now my beautiful wife. From now until forever, to the stars and around the moon, I am forever yours. Let's make this last forever. I love you, honey.
Oh, I'm glad we're doing this because I don't remember half of it. I think because I didn't know where to look.
At me?
Well, yeah.
Probably.
I think I did. But it's just like, you're standing up there and you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And you're trying to, like, take it all in and listen to everything, but there's so much, like...
You got, like, 40, 50, 60, 70 people watching you. It's hard to fucking read. I remember fumbling and being like, oh, my bad, lost my spot. Saying it verbally, like, out loud.
And we also, like, I kind of do regret this, which initially we weren't going to have anybody video. And then we were going to have somebody video because my grandparents couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then literally right before I'm supposed to walk out, I'm like, wait, who's videoing? And that was when I was locked in the kitchen by myself. So I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, before we walked out, your grandmother, I think I mentioned this in the podcast where we talked about our wedding. I just remember her just standing
and dancing
in the middle by herself, just dancing. And I was like, and I just started going too. I was like, what's up, Gaddy? What's good? We getting it popping in this hoe.
She's like the best person for stressful moments. But so now we have this on audio at least. I
didn't realize that you were in the kitchen at that time too.
I scared the mess out of Ashton's mom.
That's hilarious.
So, she was the one that was doing the charcuterie, the grazing table.
Yeah.
And I think she was coming in the kitchen to put some things away, and I'm just standing there, all rocking, rolling, and ready to go. And she's like, "Oh my God, what are you in here for?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
They put me in the kitchen. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I was like, "This is where they told me to be," so here I am.
I was outside just thugging.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
All right.
Yeah, again, I don't know if that was I think that was the rough draft version, but pretty much the same.
Which I've told you this before, but I really want to, because I did know that your vows were 6 minutes long. You told me that beforehand so that I had a base for mine. Mine are not 6 minutes. They're like 4 or 5.
Mine, it was funny too because I was turning the page on mine and the officiant started to walk over and I was like, I ain't done. I got a lot to say.
But I'd like to get them printed out and have them in a frame to go on both sides of the bed.
You said that before.
Yeah. But I don't know how we'd go about that considering we have multiple pages of yours.
Big box.
Big frame.
Very small text.
All right.
I didn't make her cry with my vows too, just throwing that out there. I made everyone else cry though.
So I looked at your mom when you were mentioning her being in the hospital and me putting her hair up. I forgot all about that.
I didn't.
And then she was in tears and I was like, oh, back to looking somewhere else.
Oh wow, that's a post. Is that weight bearing? Like I need to know.
All right.
Oh
yeah.
Before you start, we did get videos of our vows.
You never sent those to me.
Oh, it's because they're super big. Like the files are huge. Yeah.
Messenger?
I mean, I could try, but my friend Jessica, we had an unplugged wedding. I don't know where that sign was, but she recorded our vows, which I'm thankful for now.
Yeah.
It's hard as shit to hear them because the fan over our head is so loud, but I probably have to edit them. But
yeah, I don't know where the sign ended up either because the pictures that we got, they were laying flat. But I do remember seeing them on the easels when I was decorating and walking around. So I don't know. And then I had talked with our coordinator, the Wednesday before our wedding, and we knew where we were putting them.
Yeah.
Regardless of weather. We had multiple game plans. So I'm not sure. I don't understand. There are some things I would change. Or not change, but
would have done differently.
Yeah, I would have been more prepared.
That was a stressful time. The most stressful part of the wedding for me was my suits not fitting and having to literally go on a hunt to find a suit that fit.
You were in panic mode.
I did. I found one.
You did.
So, worked out. Anyways.
I thought about for Valentine's Day, which feel free to, if it's wrong, to shoot Matt down because he's the one that told me it wasn't a good idea.
Damn it, Matthew.
I had, because we don't get dressed up very often anymore at all.
No.
9 times out of 10, I either dress like a man because of work or I look like a hobo because I'm like wearing one of your old t-shirts and oversized pajama pants. So I was like, any excuse to wear my dress, I'm down. So I was like, maybe I could come home, take a shower, put makeup on, put the dress on, lay out a suit and stuff, and we could just eat dinner at the house all dressed up. Matt told me it seemed like I was trying too hard. He's like, what about a different dress? Do you just have a normal dress? I'm like, I feel like that's even more weird.
I mean, I feel like a normal dress would have made more sense than your wedding dress.
There we go. Well, Matt was right. Of course he was.
Look at Maddie. Good old Maddie. Anyway. I think it's your turn, kid.
Okay. So, unfortunately, I ran out of time to print out my vows or handwrite them in something a bit more elegant, so I'll just be a true millennial and use my phone. And yes, this dress has pockets. Because I pulled my phone out of my pocket. Anyway.
I think they could have put that together there, kid.
I told myself after completely rewriting my vows for the 5th time that I would be done, but here we are, number 9. I didn't rewrite these so many times because I didn't know what to say or because I was doubting myself, but it's because you've given me 7 whole years worth of material. This is also a day I've dreamt about for 29 years, so no pressure. I wrote this final version on Tuesday, my last day at work until after the wedding and honeymoon. That was the day it all started to sink in. We did it. In our 7 years, we have battled it all. Sickness, loss, money problems, home buying, the pandemic, job changes, you name it. A lot of this we even battled this past year alone. I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. Engagement was hard, but it was hard in the best way. Because of the fact that we want our marriage to be as successful as possible, we brought up the hard topics, talked about the things that bothered us, and as a result, our growth as a couple this year has been exponential. This past year has caused me to reflect and think about who we were back in 2017 when we first met. Both of us were composed of broken pieces, whether from the past relationships, childhood, or from the world in general, and what people may not realize is that we ultimately fell hard and we fell fast. We were daydreaming about our wedding and life together within a month into our relationship. And while maybe 7 years was a bit too long, gluing broken pieces back together takes time, especially if you want to do it right. I'm honestly in awe as we stand here today, and I have no explanation for how we got here other than God himself. We grew up on total opposite sides of the country, and we had completely different upbringings. It still makes me smile to think I brought home a skater boy from California who wore flat bill hats and worked at a vape shop. My goodness, I can only imagine what my parents must have thought. But nevertheless, here we are. We both just so happened to log into an app when we both thought was absolutely ridiculous and find each other. You know that the Bible verse I have tattooed on my arm has been my life preserver throughout my adult life, and naturally I believe it's worth mentioning here. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I truly believe that God had a plan for us all along. How else do you explain how we got here? As we stand here, I'm also forced to reflect on the marriages that surrounded my childhood. Although a few couldn't be here today due to extenuating circumstances, I know that they are here in spirit and they deserve to be mentioned. Both sets of grandparents have celebrated 50 plus years of marriage, and my parents have celebrated 29 years so far. Now 30. Looking at each of them, it just goes to show that love persists if you choose to put in the work. I have watched all 3 of these couples fight for each other, love each other, and take care of each other even when at least half of them is hard-headed and stubborn. You and I have been through so much already, and that's why I have no doubt that we will be okay, we will make it, and we will live to see 50 years someday. Words will never be enough to express my feelings for you, nor how thankful I am for you, but I'm thankful for a lifetime of chances to try. Lastly, I guess I better not forget that the real reason we are standing up here, our vows and promises to each other. I promise to never give up.
We laughed because of my vows. I said, I don't like making
believe in
promises. And she's sitting there, she said, I'm panicking. Like, it's not what it's meant to be.
Well, it's like the way you worded it. You were like, I believe that promises are made to be broken. And I'm like, well, I'm about to make a bunch of them, so get ready, kid.
Well,
It's just the way
your
you worded
promise is how I give my word.
We understand, and that's all that matters. I promise to never give up or quit when times get hard. I promise to love you along with all of your quirks and flaws. I promise to take care of you when you're sick, which we all know will be far more often than me. I have a note here to glance at your mom.
Haven't gotten sick once in that
Yeah,
marriage.
it's actually been a lot better. I promise to be your biggest cheerleader, your home base, and your safe space. I promise to pick up the slack when your battery is running low. I promise to do everything I can to make your dreams a reality. I promise to constantly aim for improvement and to strive to give you the best version of myself that I can be. I promise to be open, honest, and truthful. I promise to be your partner, to listen to you, to stand alongside you, and to fight your battles with you. And lastly, I promise that if I die first, you will have to call our boys with ghost adventures because I will come back and haunt you. I love you to the stars and back. So I guess I wrote this on, like I said, I think it said it was the Tuesday before our wedding, and then I buttoned it up the night before.
Should be one thing you should be efficient. Yeah, so those were our wedding vows. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's crazy to hear them because next month will be 6 months, which is wild. Time flies, doesn't it?
Time flies when you're surviving.
Yeah, so we did it. We read our wedding vows to each other, and we still have a Tuesday or Thursday episode idea, so that's perfect.
There you
We're
go,
done.
yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll probably talk about what's been going on these 6 months, but it's been difficult.
It has been a pain in the ass. We'll just leave
You know,
it
you
at that.
always hear that the first year of marriage is the hardest, and maybe I brought this on us because I was so confident in us because we've pretty much lived the married life for the last 6 years because we've lived together. So I was like, what else is there? You know, we've done it all. And then,
there's more.
But
We'll talk about it eventually.
yeah.
We'll get through it first. So
Yeah.
we're not keeping secrets. We'll tell y'all. Just would rather get it over with first.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. It's kind of nice to reflect on that, and I remember the emotions I was feeling as you were reading this because there was a part where I started to get a little choked up. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why did she pick me?
This is an Uno reverse card, man.
I was like, whoa. And no, I held it together like a G. So if I would have cried and you didn't, I would have been pissed. I would have been so mad.
I would have been so thrilled.
I would have been so mad.
I'm more of, because like I texted
And like,
you
not actually mad.
because I messaged you the other day and I was like, I'm having an emotional moment. And it's because a song came on, I think that was in our wedding. And so then I was like, it was Valentine's Day. And I have all of our wedding pictures on my phone. So then I just started scrolling, looking through all of them. And then I was like, I cry afterwards because like in the moment, I'm trying as hard as I can to be in the moment. But my anxiety is so high and there's so much happening.
Was it First Date?
No.
That
It was
the
the song
we
I
left.
walked down the aisle to.
I don't even. Was that?
It was Kiss. It was a version of Kiss the Girl.
That's right.
Which it will be forever ingrained in my brain when it started playing and we were walking out and Dad looked at me, he's like, really?
Boy.
This song? And I'm
Here
like,
come
please
the
cry.
tears.
But yeah, I cry now. If that makes you feel any better.
6 months later, I'm just like, or 5 technically. I don't. It doesn't bother me. No, I remember just talking about the wedding. You had always said, if you don't cry when I walk down the aisle, we're starting this thing over. I did quite the opposite of crying. I started laughing.
I didn't even look at you.
That's probably a good idea because I was busting out laughing. I was like, I had to laugh to hold it together.
I don't remember walking down the aisle.
I remember when you got there, you looked at me and said, my heart is pounding right now. And I
Yeah.
was like, really? I'm having a great time.
And I got through my vows fine. As far as this, like, my part of the ceremony, I was good. But I do remember the officiant, because you look at somebody when they're talking to you.
Yeah.
She was talking to us, so I was looking at her. And she was like, you should, like, I remember her in the ceremony saying, you should look at him and not me. And I'm like, okay, but she's the one talking.
I think that's one of those where you just don't ask questions. You just kind of do it. You should look at him. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You got
And
it,
then
boss.
I remember like our coordinator telling me what to do with my bouquet before I got out there. I forgot, and so in the middle of the prayer, I feel Jesse like coming up to grab it from behind me.
Jesse, our coordinator, or Jesse, our
maid of honor, because I was supposed to give it to her. I guess before
they were
prayer.
both named Jesse.
Yeah,
I think that was easy to figure out, but
yeah.
I remember them because like I wasn't a part of the walkthrough, and so
I wasn't either.
And so, so the two people weren't a part of the walkthrough, so I'm like, I remember Jesse standing there. I'm like, hey Jess, and she's like, what's up? And I was like, what do I do? She's like, you're gonna walk up, you're gonna stand on this line here. I was like, okay, I will find a way to screw this up.
Well, and then like we're just standing awkwardly facing each other, and I'm like, I feel like we should be holding hands, but like he's so far. You felt so far away from me. I'm thankful though. Like during our kiss, we were holding hands though, because that would have been weird.
Lots of good memories from that day. Yeah, I remember leaving to first date, and we were just jamming out. That was cool. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to be a party from like serious shit's over with. It's time to party.
Yeah.
And I remember, and God, I loved our DJ. He did such a good job.
He did.
He was awesome. I'm trying to think of the name of his company because I feel he deserves
Blue Star Productions.
Blue Star Productions. I think he was based out of Nashville. If anybody's getting married in Tennessee, go check him out.
I believe he travels as well.
Yeah, he does because he traveled to us. But great dude. God, why am I blanking his name right now? Nick. Yeah, Nick. If in the off chance you're listening or whatever, you did awesome. We appreciate everything. If you're getting married in Tennessee, go check out Blue Star Productions. He did fantastic. Our caterer was good. The food was good. I remember, I think I wanted to put we had already done the first dance and everything, so we were eating. And I was like, I want to take this damn jacket off. Because my shirt was not long enough to really be tucked in, but I tucked it in. And I didn't realize I was going to have a huge goose tail on the back. So if I knew that, I would have kept the jacket and shirt tucked in. But whatever. So I left. I walked around the outside, went to the groom suite, put my jacket up, and then I went back, and I'm sitting there like yanking on the door like, holy shit, open up, open up, open up. People are looking at me. People are talking to me. I want to eat my fried chicken.
Wow.
I was outside of the door for like 20 minutes. I knocked. Nobody came.
Well, I had to pee. And I don't know if you know this, peeing in a freaking princess dress.
Oh, it sounds like a mission.
You got to face the tank.
There's a South Park episode for that. I thought you faced this way because you have a little shelf for your comic books and your chocolate milk. No. It was interesting. I remember leaving, too, thinking, like, wow, this is the last time we'll probably be at this venue.
Yeah.
More than likely. I remember signing the big sign and seeing my chicken scratch. I feel like the wives probably most of
But
those.
that was in the groom suite, so...
Yeah. So I remember I took a picture of that too before leaving. And no, it was a fun time. Golly, did our wedding vows get put to the test?
Yeah.
Either way.
That's what they're for, though.
Either way, it's fine. We'll talk about it eventually, but those were our wedding vows. And I guess we'll just call this our post-Valentine's, late Valentine's, whatever. There's a word.
Well, because Valentine's Day was Friday.
Yeah, and it's Sunday, so.
Well, I mean, we're supposed to. We typically release
on Tuesday
and Thursday, so
yeah,
this would be our Valentine's episode.
Yeah, so either way, I think we'll close this out. We got another one to record, so get that knocked out right quick. But if you like today's episode, hit the like button, subscribe or follow if you haven't already. You can check us out on TikTok if it's still available for you at Who Even Are We Podcast.
It's back.
On Instagram, where there's still no post because I suck, at Who Even Are We Pod. All of our links are in the description of the channel or in the description of the video or podcast, depending if you're listening to us on YouTube or Spotify. But until Thursday, we wish you all the best and happy Valentine's Day to you couples out there. Let us know in the comments what year you're celebrating, like how long you and your spouse have been together. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
So till next time, we wish you guys the best. Happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you guys again on Thursday.
Get that half off chocolate.
Yeah, it's post Valentine's Day now. It's go time. Oh, we got the jelly beans too. Those are good. All right, guys. Till next time.
Bye.
Later.